Hi, welcome to the MindBody Project. My name is Eldine Thorne. The MindBody Project is a specialized service to help you overcome depression, anxiety, and phobias, as well as reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart disease, and IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. So please, please, please go and check us out. So the question was, are there any vitamins that help remove depression? So what I want you to do is just have a quick look at these signs and symptoms here. So fatigue, pale skin, irritability, shortness of breath, weight gain, headaches, dizziness, constipation, loss of appetite, abnormal heart rhythms, bone pain, muscle weakness, frequent illness and infections, hair loss, swelling of the thyroid gland, slow wound healing, anemia, difficulty walking, cognitive disturbances, memory problems, difficulty concentrating, especially with brain fog and dry eyes. So these are signs and symptoms, but guess what? Of vitamins and mineral deficiency. So the answer to the question is you actually need all of the vitamins and minerals. So let's look at the intention of the body and the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is there to protect you at all costs. But it's like a car. If you don't give a car the right fuel, it's not going to get very far, no matter how much it wants to. Okay, so it needs the right fuel in order for your body to function. One of the problems I find with people with depression is 80% of the issue is to do with nutrition. Okay, so we constantly label depression as a mental health issue. And what I educate people into thinking and changing their mindset around is that there's no mental health. It's mind body health. Because the problem is if you start separating the body up into bits and not viewing it as it actually is, which is a system that functions as one, not in bits, it functions as one system, then if you don't look at it that way, you're taking away the solutions or possible solutions to the problem. Okay, so not a lot of people know that depression is more of a gut problem. It's more of a gut. The gut and brain are directly connected. Brain is connected to the enteric nervous system. Enteric nervous system connected to the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve connected to the gut and all the internal organs. Okay, so it's literally your gut can tell your brain what to do, and your brain can tell your gut what to do. Bidirectional communication. It operates as one system. So in other words, whatever you do with the mind affects the body. Whatever you do with the body affects the mind, like best friends. That's the way that you need to start looking at depression, because if you don't look at it that way as one system, then you're actually cutting off your solutions. It's amazing. I'm amazed that not a lot of nurses and doctors know this either, though, and they're telling you what to do. So this is a major issue. Vitamins and minerals is one of the things I focus on a lot. And on the courses, I've literally got vitamins, what happens if you have a deficiency in that vitamins, and then the foods that are that have those vitamins in them. So I've literally got loads of leaflets which will all tell you that information, because it's really important. And I want to stress here, I'm just going to pop into this, how to see depression function in the body is its physiology, language patterns, and focus. The first thing I go to is physiology, because that's the easiest one to change. That is why food, if you have the right food, it's quite easy to change. And I'm going to come on to something in a second. But running, if you do some running, that changes your state very quickly. Now, we're going to talk more about those type of solutions in other questions. but physiology, focus, and language pattern make up the triad of depression. That is how you get any emotion. So these three areas is what you want to be looking at, and I'll explain it in more details, as I said, in other sessions. But this tells you, I want to go through this quickly, and this is amino acids. So if you don't have amino acids, your essential amino acids in the body, then this is what it can do even if you are on the antidepressants. Okay, this is even on antidepressants. If you take out tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid, for 4 to 6 days, whilst on SSRIs, which are antidepressants, 60% of people develop depression. So this has been tested. Yeah, double-blind study, 100 people. This is what happened. So this is tryptophan. This is just taking it 4 to 6 days, and it's 60% of people develop depression. By the way, this happens with the vitamins and minerals, as we pointed out in the signs and symptoms of not having vitamins and minerals in the body. And I'm going to come up with the good news in a second. Also, if you take out tyrosine for 4 to 6 days whilst on bupropion or Wellbutrin, 60% of people develop depression. So this is how essential nutrition is to your function of the body. Remember, your metabolic health and your mental health are the same thing. That's how you want to see things. Mind-body connection. This has been the same way for 150 years. It's not going to change. This is how it is. For some reason, scientists like to separate up the body, and it's more to do with selling drugs, but the body and the mind function as one system. Now, the good news, if it's a nutritional problem, then this is quite easy to solve. So if you put the missing nutrients back into the body, in 4 to 6 days, the depression was going away. And this was what was happening in the studies. Okay, so if that is the issue, then that will go away. Now, with people with depression, a lot of the times it's a nutritional problem and stuff going on in life. So, but it makes it easier if your body and mind are functioning to actually deal with the problems. Dr. Christopher Palmer, if you look up the book Brain Energy, which is a really good read, by the way, he says that it's mitochondria dysfunction. In other words, your energy center of your cells are actually, you haven't got the energy, and you've got a dysfunction in energy because of your behaviors around nutrition, which is causing the problem. And that is why a lot of people with depression, if you maybe find it hard to get out of bed because you don't have the energy, because your nutrition is not good, you can't do the physical activity, your fluids, you're not having enough fluids. By the way, if you take out 1% dehydration equals 5% loss in performance. So that's, athletes know this. If you take out 5% dehydration equals 30% less energy. 30% of your life force energy gone if you're 5% dehydrated. So these things are really, really crucial around depression. And that is why it's more of a lifestyle change rather than sitting there and talking about how you feel, because you can do that forever. But if you're still doing these behaviors, then the problem is the cause, which is the behaviors, is not getting fixed. And maybe you can do something with the symptoms, but if the cause is there, it's going to continue on until you deal with the cause.